Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good and welcome to my channel सब आसान है। जैसा कि मैंने पहले बताया था कि इन दिस पर्टिकुलर चैनल जो भी कॉम्प्लेक्स से कॉम्प्लेक्स चीजें होती हैं whether it's related to the application or whether related to any of the process which is having a very few information available और कैसे कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकते हैं, कैसे उनको easily adopt कर सकते हैं। तो I am going and showcase those type of complex functionalities features in an easy way. So in this particular series, what I am doing is I am covering this Oracle Cloud Advanced HCM control. I got many queries that how to configure. मैंने इस पे पहले दो और वीडियो बनाए हैं। एक उसमें जनरल ओवरव्यू दिया है कि इसका यूज केस कहाँ पे है, where we can use it. And second, I had shown it to you how we can enable and configure these advanced control. मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में इनकी लिंक दे दूंगा इफ यू वांट यू कैन गो थ्रू दोस एंड आई रिकमेंड दैट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक यू शुड हैव अ बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द कंसेप्ट। तो उसको एक बार जाके पढ़ लेना कि और समझ लेना कि क्या है, क्या चीजें कैसे कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अदरवाइज ये समझ में नहीं आएगा। ये बहुत ही स्टेप बाय स्टेप थोड़ा ट्रिकी रहता है इसको रिजॉल्व करना। सो पहले कंसेप्ट समझना कि किस चीज के लिए है, क्या क्या प्रोसेसेस हैं, उसके बाद में कैसे इसको इनेबल कर सकते हैं, कहाँ से इनेबल कर सकते हैं। उस वीडियो में ये भी बताया है कि कौन कौन से रूल हमें जरूरत पड़ती है इसको इनेबल करने के लिए, जब पुराने सीरीज पुराने एपिसोड्स में सब मिल जाएगा। ब्लू में मैं इसमें डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक भी डाल दूंगा कि कौन कौन से कहाँ पे कैसे इनको देख सकते हो। एट द एंड उसकी मैं चैनल लिंक भी दे दूंगा, सो दैट ऑलवेज फॉलो इट। अच्छा, आज हम इसमें मेजॉरिटी ऑफ चीजें कवर करने वाले हैं, सो बी फोकस। एक बार नहीं, दो तीन बार इसको समझ लेना कि क्या है कैसे है। ये अगर समझ में आ गया, आज की चीज अगर समझ में आ गई, देन इट विल बी इजी एंड दिस इज अ स्टेप बाय स्टेप गाइड। एकदम जल्दी से नहीं बताऊंगा, सबको आसानी से बताऊंगा कि कैसे इसको इनेबल करना है। तो आज हम पढ़ेंगे डिफरेंट वे ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग दी क्या क्या उसमें फंक्शनलिटीज होती है। तो इसमें सबसे पहले हम समझेंगे अबाउट द जॉब्स कि हम जॉब जो होते हैं वो कहाँ से हम उनको मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि हम कई बार क्या करते हैं, ये सब चीजें इग्नोर कर देते हैं। और कभी कभी वो चीजें इनेबल नहीं होती है, दिखती नहीं है कहाँ से है क्या है। तो दिस इज वन प्रोसेस आई विल शो यू फ्रॉम वेयर वी कैन एबल टू मॉनिटर द जॉब। सेकंड जो इसमें हम करेंगे कवर अबाउट द शेड्यूलिंग पार्ट। देखो, we had seen in other modules also that certain processes need to be get scheduled to so that Oracle functionality can behave properly. Similarly, इसमें भी एडवांस कंट्रोल में ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बन जाता है फ्रॉम द एक्सेस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू कि शेड्यूलिंग हम किन चीजों की करें, किस रेगुलर इंटरवल पे करें, और अगर वो शेड्यूलिंग नहीं करते हैं या रन नहीं करते हैं वो प्रोसेसेस को, तो क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा। सो दिस आई विल कवर एज अ पार्ट ऑफ द शेड्यूलिंग। थर्ड जो टॉपिक इसमें आप कवर करेंगे वो है हमारा पर्सपेक्टिव्स। पर्सपेक्टिव इन जनरल इट्स माय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हायरार्की। जैसे कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई हैव अ एंटरप्राइज, उसके अंदर डिवीजन बीयूज, सो हाउ वी वांट टू लिंक दीज मॉडल्स कंट्रोल्स, वो उसमें मैं थोड़ा ओवरव्यू दे दूंगा। बेसिकली इसका इतना ज्यादा यूज नहीं होता, बट यस फिर भी आई विल गिव एन ओवरव्यू that how we can able to configure these perspectives in an environment, how to enable it। और जब हम मॉडल्स की बात करेंगे तब मैं इसका यूज केस भी बता दूंगा that what are the use case of these perspectives। मेन एडवांस इसमें है कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में परफॉर्मेंस। समटाइम व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन यू स्टार्ट कॉन्फ़िगरिंग द एप्लीकेशन, उसके कुछ पैरामीटर होते हैं। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल इफ वी आर हैविंग अ एम्प्लॉय बेस ऑफ 10,000 15,000 13,000, और फिर हम उसके बाद में कुछ एम्प्लॉयज को रोल भी देते हैं। so sometime what happen, there is some issues comes with the application performance, okay। तो हम उसको कैसे इनिशियली कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, दिस आई विल बी शोकेस इन दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक। फिर एक और जो प्रीरिक्विजिट है और जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है वो है ग्लोबल यूजर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन। अगर हमें एडवांस कंट्रोल या रिस्क मैनेजमेंट का यूज करना है, तो ये पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट को या इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को बहुत अच्छे से समझना कि इसको कैसे हम इनेबल कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या इसके फीचर्स होते हैं। और आई विल शो यू वन पर्टिकुलर यूज केस दैट हाउ वी कैन एबल टू वैलिडेट इट। In this, I will just give you the overview of finance, और I will cover it as a part of the finance। जब मैं फाइनेंस का पार्ट पढ़ाऊंगा, जब मैं फाइनेंस में जाऊंगा तब मैं इसको पूरा कवर कर लूंगा कि how we can able to configure it the multiple option for the finance module. इसमें हम केवल एचआर की बात करेंगे, फाइनेंस को हम यहाँ पे स्किप कर देंगे. Then important aspect is emails and notification. There are standard emails and notifications are there, which is available in an application. How we can able to configure it, या कुछ notifications है वो हमें email पे ही रखना है या notification पे रखना है या दोनों ही use करना है. This is a portion that we can able to enable the emails and notification. फिर से इन फाइनेंस यहाँ पे रिपोर्टिंग की कई रिक्वायरमेंट रहती हैं. सो देयर इज अनदर फीचर्स और कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इज द डेटा माइग्रेशन फॉर फाइनेंस. अच्छा, यहाँ पे मैं एचआर कवर करूंगा, सो आई विल नॉट गोइंग टू कवर दिस डेटा माइग्रेशन ऑफ फाइनेंस. आई विल गिव द ओवरव्यू बट आई एम नॉट कवरिंग. इसको स्किप कर दूंगा. जब मैं फाइनेंस के ऊपर एक डेडिकेटेड कंट्रोल्स या उसको फ्लो को बताऊंगा, देन आई विल कवर दिस पोर्शन. Then there are certain lookups like अगर हम backend में कोई report बना रहे हैं या if some lookups are appearing, then what is the meaning of those lookups? तो यहाँ पे we will check that what are the standard lookups which Oracle is providing to us. Then there are again when we generate a assessment of any of the process or any of the model or any of the control, there are certain codes are get generated automatically. So in this we will going to cover about the codes, what are the different codes are there, how we can able to configure them. Then at the last, the purging of our data, the purging of our data, the purging of our models, the purging of our controls, how we can able to do it. ये इस portion में cover करूँगा. Okay, so now let's log into the application, how we can able to configure the things. So what I did, I log into my application. Last time I created one user called risk manager and I had given the roles and privileges. दो role जो होते हैं मैंने इस user को दिए थे. Let's log in to the application. It will taking little bit of time, but yeah, it's loaded. So now, as you can see, I log into as a risk manager as performing these tasks. So this is a login page for a risk manager. Here you will find a risk management tab over here, and then we are having a different functions available under the risk management part. Now today we are going to cover about the setup and administration part. So when I click on setup and administration, these are the particular screen which is for the administrative team. Okay, ये सारे के सारे we are going to explore it कि इनका क्या मतलब होता है. Okay, so as I mentioned it, this is a placeholder. जो भी मैं अपनी processes submit करूंगा, चाहे वो synchronization of job हो, चाहे वो कोई model को results देखना हो, that if I am creating any model which particular access points, if I want to see whether that job is already processed or in progress, कहाँ पे आके देखना है. So again, system and administration mein, when you come on this particular screen, you will find on the left hand side this monitor job function is there. When I click on this monitor job, जो भी मेरे processes schedules हैं या submitted थे, it is going to be get appear. We have a filter option available over here. हम यहाँ फिल्टर देख सकते हैं कि लास्ट 72 आवर्स में कौन कौन सी प्रोसेसेस हमने यहाँ पर शेड्यूल की हैं, सक्सेसफुल हुई हैं कि नहीं हुई हैं, ये सब हमें यहाँ पे देखने को मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे फिल्टर्स के और अदर क्राइटेरिया हैं. इफ सबमिशन डेट, इफ आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट कि भाई मेरे को प्रीवियस मंथ से या जो भी है वट एवर इज देयर, यू कैन एबल टू फाइंड इट आउट एंड देन यू कैन क्लिक ऑन द सर्च बटन कि कब एंड कब it is. So it's, you can see that these two processes I had submitted in the past. So these two are appearing over here, correct? So now this is the portion where we can able to find out that which all processes which I have submitted is appearing or not. So these are the two processes which I have submitted as like I don't know when, but yes, this is all get completed in the system. Then another portion is coming is my scheduling. So scheduling is another important part where we have to learn about the different part. I will come to the scheduling part. क्या होते हैं क्या नहीं होते हैं. ये शेड्यूलिंग क्या है, मैं इसमें डिटेल में बताऊंगा कि अगर मुझे कुछ रिपोर्ट्स ऑलरेडी जो शेड्यूल करनी है, रन करनी है, इसमें दो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोसेसेस हैं दैट वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न इट कि कौन सी वो प्रोसेस हमें रन करना चाहिए. other portion is coming my perspectives. As I mentioned it, कि perspective is required to create it. इसको भी मैं बताऊंगा डिटेल में कि what डिटेल में in the sense कि where the use case of these perspectives. So this is my complete setup and administration portion. I'm just giving you the overview. जो जो इसमें मेन टॉपिक है और जो जो मेन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन के लिए है वो मैं separately I'm covering it in this class only. Second and the fourth option is coming the control configuration. Okay, यहाँ पे हम whatever my transactions which has performed basically based on the data जो हम data retrieve करते हैं जिस पे हम audit करते हैं especially for the financials कि हम कोई financial report generate कर रहे हैं and we want to see whether it is configured or not. तो यहाँ this is a placeholder where we come and configure the things. Currencies हमें कौन सी use करनी है, corporate currencies, exchange rate, we all configure it over here. And then there is an access performance configuration. This is I'm going to explain it in the in a short while. Then यहाँ से ही हम global user configuration करते हैं. ये topic मैं cover करूँगा अभी. And from this global user configuration, what are the की इम्पोर्टेंट एक यूज केस करके देख लेंगे कि कहाँ पे क्या चीज है, वो कैसे कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं, वो भी मैं यहाँ पे सब बता दूंगा कि कैसे क्या करना है. देन कम्स द पार्ट ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल्स की what are the reporting compliances are there which you want to configure it. So this is the control process and the risk related. I can come and edit and change these control. ये portion मैं cover करूंगा when I'm going to cover on the financial part. फिर उसके बाद में आता है हमारा reports sorry alerts and the alerts and the notification that we can able to configure it. These are the global settings. If we want to change the any of these settings, say for example सर्टिफिकेशन है, ये सर्टिफिकेशन एरिया में if I want that मुझे केवल email ही चाहिए और if I want notification only, so this is the way we can able to configure. Or if I don't want to, if I don't want any of the email or notification trigger of any of these modules, so then I can go and update the settings. So for example, if I'm working only for the HCM advanced control and I don't want required any financial reporting compliance control related कोई भी चाहिए, so I will select these reports and notification, and then I can update the setting that I don't want no email and notification from these particular processes. So if you can see, I had changed it. I had changed it back. I had changed it to no email and notification. But definitely, if I wanted, if any of these are set as a no email and notification, तो हम क्या करेंगे, इसको वापस से आके will come and update the setting. Yes, I want email and notification both, or email only or notification only. तो यहाँ से we can come and change the setup for this particular option. Clear? Then there is a other option which is available. I don't want to save this. I want to keep it as a default. Yes, I want to continue. I will come back. दूसरा रहता है there are certain templates are required, so we can import the template which we have created in some other environment, or if we want to create a template, our own custom template that we have created it, वो यहाँ से मैं data migration पूरा करूँगा for the financials. Again, this is I'm not going to cover because this way I'm going to cover as a part of my financial module. Then, as I mentioned, that these are certain lookups available in the system, and these are the lookup code. If I want, I can create my own custom lookup code, and I can use it attached to a reporting or some model if I'm creating it. So from here, we can able to create our own custom lookups. Okay. तो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल दीज आर द स्टैंडर्ड डिलीवर्ड बाय द ओरेकल, यहाँ पे हम लुकअप्स अपना इस मॉड्यूल के लिए इस पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन से बनाते हैं. Then there are certain assessment results. So when we are generating an assessment, like if I am doing any certification, mainly क्या होता है, ये certification के time पे use होता है, and we put certain assessment and we want to understand. So these are the codes and these are the responses that we can able to understand. Okay, अगर कहीं हम report develop कर रहे हैं backend में and we want to get the details, so this is the placeholder where we can, and these are the standard deliver and we cannot go and configure them. हम यहाँ पे इसको configure नहीं कर सकते. These are the standard. With the upgrades, maybe Oracle can deliver these codes. And in the last, in this, we have a purging option. Like if I want to purge any of my control data types, like for transaction or for access or both, so then I can परचेज। इससे क्या होगा कि जो भी मैंने डेटा इंपोर्ट किया और जो भी डेटा सिस्टम ने एज अ पार्ट ऑफ ऑडिट क्रिएट करके रखा, हम उसको डिलीट कर सकते हैं। सी देयर आर सर्टेन जीडीपीआर रिक्वायरमेंट आर देयर दैट ओके वी कैन कीप द ट्रांजैक्शन डेटा अवेलेबल फॉर सर्टेन टाइम पीरियड। तो यहाँ पे वो कंट्रोल को मैं ढूंढूंगा और उस कंट्रोल का डेटा मैं डिलीट कर दूंगा। नॉर्मली व्हाट हैपन इज दैट ड्यूरिंग द ऑडिट वी कीप द डेटा फॉर 1 year, and after the audit is get completed and once we get a confirmation from the auditors, we can go and purge that particular data, so which will not be available in application. No one will have access to that data. Sometime what we can do for the application performance also, we purge the data. उससे पहले अगर हमें पर्स से पहले अगर डेटा रखना है तो what we can do, we can develop a report. हम एक report develop कर सकते हैं, OTBI report or BI report, and then save it in our local folder or create a report using our Excel data format. वो हम users को दे सकते हैं, but this is the placeholder where we can parse the data. So now let's continue. Okay. So now what we had done, we had just taken an overview from an application. What are the standard system administrator functions are there? अच्छा, इसमें अब we are going to cover two main topics. ये two main topics हमें why I'm covering it, because these are the important part of my setup. ये हमें भूलना नहीं है and we have to understand these in detail. पहला इसमें होता है मेरा security synchronization. Now what is the security synchronization means? See, normally what happen is that whenever we create certain users, okay, हम क्या करते हैं, application में user बनाते हैं. From the security console we are creating a user, okay, and at the same time we are giving them the rules. We are giving them the rules, and then the rules will give me the access to this particular risk management or the advanced control SCM access, okay, advanced control SCM access. Now, this security synchronization rule is very important because this particular job will find out who are eligible to have a authority to view the report. Like for example, as a owner, editors, or viewer. When we learn about this on this particular topic on this certification part, so we create the different users, owners, and the managers. That how we can able to create this. वो हम वहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे. What happen is that suppose for example we have one user, okay, we have one user who is currently working as a part of my risk department or a audit department, correct? अब ये क्या हुआ, this person got moved from any of these departments to some other department, maybe got promoted or something, job change हो गया. But still, if someone has not deleted or someone has not moved their particular role, so for example, I am giving this certification access administrator role दिया इसको, ठीक है, इस users को we had given it, and in an Oracle Advanced Control, this particular is defined as my certifier, okay, or maybe defined as a viewer. So now when we are creating a model, when we are creating a model and when we are running those particular model, तो इस यूजर्स के पास में वो एक्सेस आ जाएगा, वो डेटा का एक्सेस आ जाएगा, बिकॉज हमने उसको ऑलरेडी ये डेटा ग्रांट किया था एट वंस अपॉन अ टाइम, ठीक है. अब वो रोल उसके पास में रहा नहीं या उसका जॉब रोल चेंज हो गया. Now we want to remove it. So this particular security synchronization, we have to run it, the process we have to schedule it, so that it makes sure कि जो ineligible users हैं, okay, so they can have lose their access, ठीक है, otherwise they will have a access throughout the application and it will be risky to the organization. So always remember, this is a security synchronization rule. I will show you in the application how to submit and how to run this particular process. So we have to schedule this process on the daily basis so that it always go and check whether the person who are having an access to my data is go and remove it. So this is one of the process that we have to run. Second, what is the usage of this? That security synchronization process launches 3 more jobs. Okay, वो कौन कौन से होते हैं? एक होता है हमारा work list synchronization. Okay, one is the work list synchronization. तो जो भी हमारी वर्क लिस्ट में नोटिफिकेशन या अलर्ट्स रहते हैं, जो भी रहते हैं, इट विल सिंक्रोनाइज दोज विद माय डेटा. सेकंड प्रोसेस जो सिक्योरिटी सिंक्रोनाइजेशन से जो लॉन्च, दीज आर ऑल सेपरेट जॉब्स आर देयर. which is my result update. So for example, if I am running any of the processes or any of the models, so this will update my result. So this एक और process इससे update होती है, which is my result process. And then the notification that are standard which are scheduled in an application, वो proper से function करें, वो proper से user पे जाए. So this particular process, कौन सी वाली process, this security synchronization process will schedule these three processes as well. So that's why this particular security synchronization process is important, and we have to schedule it based on the organization requirement. But I will recommend you schedule this daily, maybe in the night time, so that any performance issue in the application system will take care. So this is one of the process that we have to schedule in an application. Apart from that, there is one more process that we have to schedule it, which we call as a report synchronization. Okay, report synchronization की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है normally? Because when we are running these processes, when we are populating the data in our data model or creating any of the data model, उसमें what are the conflicts, what are the things are there, so data will not be going to appear immediately. Okay, so to update this subject area, we have to run this process called report synchronization. These two are very important process, so we have to run it. And this particular process handles the cloud financial reporting compliance data as well. That कुछ compliance issue तो नहीं है on in my financial data, as well as the in advanced control, it is data concerning access and the transition control which is there in the system. Okay, so let's see how we can able to run this or how we can able to schedule this report from an application, and then we will come back again on on this particular topic. So I'm going to log in an application again. So I logged in again in an application, and we will see this the security synchronization and report synchronization processes, how we can able to run or schedule them. So from setup and administration, we'll come to this report scheduling, and this is a security synchronization which is already run in the month of July, because this environment is like a demo environment, so nobody using it. So in the past, when this environment was got due, so this was got scheduled. I can go and submit this particular process, or I can edit it and schedule this. So for example, if I want to schedule this particular report on the daily basis or on a particular week, I can schedule it. Again, this is based on the requirement, how frequently the changes are happening in organization, and check it with your users as well कि कब ये process, and make them understand that what is the purpose of this particular process security synchronization, and if they see or value added to be run on the daily basis, run it on the daily basis, or you can schedule it on the weekly basis. So if I want to schedule it this on the daily basis, I will select a day. I can put a start date and end time, whatever the start date and end time you want to put it, you can select it. So starting from 4th of December every day, and then this you can schedule it. Okay, I am not scheduling it at this point of time, but yes, if I want to run it on ad hoc basis, I can run this run now process as well. So this will allow me to, this job is get submitted. Okay, I will show you that once the job is get submitted, just keep a note of your job ID, copy this job ID, and then we will check it in an application where it's visible. As I mentioned in this chapter only, we can go, we can find out what are the jobs are running. See, this is jobs already I have scheduled it, and it is placed as a part of the queue. It will take some time because based on the system performance and everything, but yes, after some time, the security synchronization process will be get completed successfully. So this is the way. Now it has got completed, not yet completed, started. So it will take some more time. It will take some more time, and it still depend on this, as I mentioned it. कि इसके साथ it will trigger three more separate reporting as well. One is for the access certification notification. One is for the advanced control notification. So these are the notification. It is get triggered independent notification. Then the result work list schedule work list ka synchronization. Also, this process is going to be get result. And if any financial reporting related compliance are there, that will also will get triggered. एंड द समरी अपडेट, रिजल्ट समरी अपडेट। सो ये जो प्रोसेस है, कौन सी वाली, सिक्योरिटी सिंक्रोनाइजेशन प्रोसेस, ये हमारे 3-4 और प्रोसेस को सबमिट करता है। वन फॉर द नोटिफिकेशन, सी इफ यू कैन नोटिस, दिस इज फॉर द नोटिफिकेशन ऑफ एडवांस कंट्रोल, notification for access control, and notification for my financial control, as well as it will independently run the process for my work list as well। जो separate work list synchronization करना है वो भी करेगा। It will take some time, and when it's completed, yeah, so one by one it is completing it. Now it's working on this security synchronization part. Yeah, so now what it has done, it is now working on the advanced control notification। तो जितने भी हमारी बैकग्राउंड में जो एप्लीकेशन के लिए है, अच्छा एक चीज और याद रखना, वेन एवर यू आर स्टार्टिंग और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, एक बार इस प्रोसेस को रन कर लें तो जितना भी डेटा हमारा सिंक्रोनाइज हो करना पड़ेगा, कि मॉडल अगर विजिबल नहीं है, अगर ओरेकल ने कुछ मॉडल, एडिशनल मॉडल इम्प्लीमेंट किए हैं, या कंट्रोल्स हैं वो हमने इम्पोर्ट किए हैं कहीं बाहर से और किसी दूसरे एनवायरनमेंट से, फिर इज नॉट विजिबल, we can we have to run this synchronization process। तो जितने भी हमारे नोटिफिकेशन है या प्रोसेसेस हैं सब इससे क्लियर हो जाते हैं, and we will not face any problem in defining it। Still this sub process is running, so once this is completed, so we can say yes, this is completed successfully। ये अभी start हुई है। Let's see how much time, so this is my separate job ID, it will take another 1 minute or 2 minutes of time period। ठीक है, तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द प्रोसेस, इट विल बी गेट कंप्लीटेड। एक प्रोसेस और है जिसको वी हैव टू मेक श्योर कि वो सिस्टम में शेड्यूल हो, सिंक्रोनाइज हो, विच इज माय रिपोर्ट सिंक्रोनाइजेशन। व्हाई वी रिक्वायर रिपोर्ट सिंक्रोनाइजेशन, एज आई मेंशन कि जो भी हम कंट्रोल बनाते हैं और उनका जो रिजल्ट देखते हैं, इफ आई वांट टू डेवलप अ रिपोर्ट, अगर हमने कोई डैशबोर्ड बना रखा है या कस्टम डैशबोर्ड है या स्टैंडर्ड डैशबोर्ड है, उसमें डेटा रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं होगा, इमीडिएटली डेटा रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो ओटीबीआई सिंक नहीं करता है बैकएंड टेबल से। सो फॉर दैट पर्पस वी हैव टू रन दिस रिपोर्ट सिंक्रोनाइजेशन प्रोसेस। Again, if I want, I can schedule it on maybe hourly basis or on the day basis or on the weekly basis. Keep it on the daily basis that every day, fortnight, this process is going to be get scheduled, and always update your business users की ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने मॉडल बनाया, चेंजेस किए और immediately डेटा दिखने लगेगा। Tell them that if you are looking your custom dashboard or standard dashboard, some data issue may be there, so you always view the नेक्स्ट डे डेटा। मॉर्निंग में जब भी रिपोर्ट रिफ्रेश करोगे तो कल और आज में डिफरेंस होगा, क्योंकि ये प्रोसेस हमने फोर्टनाइटली शेड्यूल किया। सो दिस इज द वेयर वी कैन एबल टू शेड्यूल इट, पुट अ टाइम दैट ओके एवरी डे मॉर्निंग से, फॉर एग्जांपल आई वांट टू शेड्यूल दिस प्रोसेस एवरी मॉर्निंग 5 AM, ओके, या फिर रात को 12 बजे शेड्यूल करें, गिव दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम every day, and then you schedule it। I'm not scheduling this, I will go and show you। Click on this report synchronization job name and then click on run now। So what it will done, it will again submit in my process. If I want to see it, we'll come to the notification area, and this is it's where it started। This is also got started, थोड़ा time लेगा, but हाँ ये complete हो जाएगा। This is the placeholder where it is going to process and run it। ठीक है, so these are the two processes that we have to run it, and let's see what is next about। I think it's about the perspective, we will understand what are the perspective। The important aspect is in completing this advanced HCM control is the performance of an application। See, normally what happen is that we when we are run this any of the models, okay, हम model की बात करेंगे, we will run these models when we are defining these models। So data generated for this model, we don't know. Initially, we have to monitor it, and the data generated in bulk. Okay, it will be not for one role, one user or two user. Whatever the user we have created it, उनका एक रहेगा। दूसरा रहता है इसमें the rules that we have created। Now, for one user, we can have a multiple rules. For one user, we can give a multiple rules, and in this multiple roles what happen is that there are multiple privileges or what we can duties or abstract roles, whatever we can call it, are attached to these particular roles। अब ये कई thousands में होते हैं, okay, this is not in for if I am taking it like 1 2 3 4 3 4 roles also। if we are comparing that, अगर 10 भी रहे तो एक रोल के लिए we will be having almost 40 to 70 ड्यूटीज अटैच हो जाती हैं. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग a rough figure over there. This number may be increased to 100 to 170 also based on the what all function we are doing. So when system generated these models, okay, when the system generated these model, it will generate a data in bulk. Always remember, जब भी हम पहली बार इसको implement करें, we have to take care of the performance of an application. It may take lots of time, it may get stuck also. So ये problem आती है हमेशा, so उसका हमें ध्यान रखना है. और इसके एक पैरामीटर होता है that I will show you. That parameter of the performance, keep it as a 5000. अभी initially what Oracle it gave is for 5000. But what we have to do it for one time, the first time, that if my application is working or not, we can reduce it to maybe 500, or we can come and reduce it to even 50 also. इसमें एक ड्रॉबैक रहेगा, इट विल नॉट पुल आउट माय कंप्लीट डेटा फ्रॉम एन एप्लीकेशन, बट हाँ, दिस मेक श्योर्स कि हमारी जो प्रोसेसेस हैं विच आर नॉट गेटिंग स्टक विद इन एन एप्लीकेशन. लेटर ऑन हम इसको धीरे धीरे 500 पे, धीरे धीरे 5000 पे, धीरे धीरे हम इसको 10,000 भी कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज दिस इज अ ट्रांजेक्शनल डेटा इन क्लाउड एप्लीकेशन एंड वी डोंट नो वेयर इट इज गेटिंग स्टक. तो इनिशियल जो सेटअप करें उसको लो नंबर पे लेके आए. इंस्टेड ऑफ 5000, change this parameter from 5000 to either 50 और 10. मैं हमेशा इसको 10 पे लेके चलता हूँ. when my processes are get completed, then I slowly go and increase this parameter, so which will make a complete overview that इसको कैसे करना है. So in this advanced control configuration, there are few more points are there which I will show you, but इसमें जो main important portion है वो है performance configuration. ये हमेशा याद रखना कि access performance configuration हम उसको कैसे set कर सकते हैं. Let me show you in the application that how we can able to configure this particular portion. So I logged in done as application, same placeholder. So under this you can see this particular tab which is called as advanced control configuration. This configuration is normally for the three portion are there. Okay, इसमें तीन portion रहेंगे. One is for the transaction data. This is for the financial reporting. That when my analyzed data, last when the audit data got synchronized, whatever the events are got created, and then it's for the financial, like for which country or which ledger I am implementing it. So I have to enable and change the currency. This is for the financial purpose. Like if I want journal entries to be seen in which currency conversion required, so that is required for the currency conversion portion. But the important aspect that we have to keep in our mind, this access performance configuration, we have to check it. Normally what happen is that initially जो values जो रहती है यहाँ पे, if you open it your application, initially it will come as a 5000. ठीक है, इससे क्या होता है कि system will limit the record and access it with the for each model level at a 5000 rows. सबसे बड़ा इसमें प्रॉब्लम, अगेन आई मेंशन इट, कि इसमें परफॉर्मेंस का आता है. सो whereas as I mentioned, reduce this number to 10 or 15 or 100, so keep it 50 and then you will start working on your model. अगर ये नंबर ज्यादा रहेगा, so the processes which I am running in the background, वो 1 घंटा 2 घंटा, कभी कभी it takes a whole day as well. So that's a problem, we should always avoid it initially. फिर बाद में जब हम प्रोडक्शन में जाएंगे, then we can set up based on the record, how many employees are there, say if we use how many users, that privilege role we had given it. On that basis you can take a rough estimation, number of users into the number of rows and average number of duties attached to it. उसका हिसाब से हम इसको multiply करके around 10,000 15,000 based on the user base से हम इसको role users as well as the roles, how many roles, custom roles, standard role we have attached it, ये parameter हम set कर सकते हैं. So this is an important aspect. We have to set up this at the time of the initial implementation itself. उसके बाद हम बाकी की चीजें configure करेंगे. So always इसका ध्यान रखना कि ये हम parameter बराबर configure कर रहे हैं. Now in this series, in this particular chapter, the main important portion that we have to understand is about the global user configuration. This is the important aspect. And what is the use case? I will just explain it to you, the use case, and I will show you in the application also. I will show you in the application also that how we can able to configure it. Achha, what is global user configuration? Why it is important for this advanced HCM control? See, what happen is that whatever the roles, okay, or whatever the, first of all, users, okay, we will start from the users. Whatever the users that we are creating it in our from our security console. ठीक है, हम सिक्योरिटी कंसोल से ही यूजर्स बनाते हैं और वहीं पे हम इनको रोल असाइन करते हैं. देयर आर डिफरेंट रोल्स आर देयर दैट वी आर असाइनिंग इट. अब हम जब भी यूजर बनाते हैं तो वी पुट अ सेट रूल, लाइक सम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन define it their email address is important. Definitely for accessing the cloud application, email address is important. Reason is कि जब भी हम यूजर नेम एंड पासवर्ड सेंड करते हैं किसी को, so it will go to the email address. If I forget my username and password, what normally employees do is that they enter the email or they enter the username, so the password link comes to the email address. So this email address is one of the important attribute or important factor in when we are managing from the security console. ठीक है, सो हम एक यहाँ पे नोट कर लेते हैं ईमेल. ठीक है. सेकंड, हम हमारे पास में ऑप्शन रहता है यूजर नेम क्रिएशन. ठीक है, यूजर नेम क्रिएशन के लिए हम या तो हम फर्स्ट नेम डॉट लास्ट नेम कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं और समटाइम हम क्या कर देते हैं कि जो पर्सन नंबर है, ठीक है, वही हम यूज करते हैं फॉर आवर लॉगिन. दूसरा इसमें एस्पेक्ट आ जाता है हमारा यूजर नेम. ठीक है, ये तो हमारे दो मेन पैरामीटर है. Why email is for sending the details and username is for the uniqueness के हम user create कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं. If I am creating a user with same name, say for example मैंने एक user बनाया, say user 1, सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिकली, और फिर मैं दोबारा ट्राई कर रहा हूँ कि उसी तरह एक और मैं यूजर क्रिएट करूँ user 1, सिस्टम वो अलाउ नहीं करेगा एंड व्हाट विल डन, इट विल सफिक्स विद 1 इटसेल्फ. ठीक है, ये इफ यू ट्राई इट, इसको अगर हम सिक्योरिटी कंसोल से जाके अगर हम दो यूजर्स बनाएंगे सेम नेम के, तो वो सिस्टम हमको ऑटोमेटिकली उसको डिनाई कर देगा एंड इट विल एडिट 1. बट इसमें एक सबसे बड़ी खामी क्या रहती है कि मैंने एक यूजर बना दिया, से फॉर एग्जांपल आई क्रिएट वन यूजर 1 और उसका मैंने ईमेल एड्रेस सपोज abc@gmail.com और जो भी है gmail.com, और एक और मैंने यूजर बना दिया यूजर 2, उसका मैंने बना दिया abc@gmail.com. टेस्टिंग के टाइम में विच इज ओके, बट इन प्रोडक्शन दिस सिनेरियो शुड नॉट एग्जिस्ट. अगर एग्जिस्ट करता है देन योर ऑडिटर्स शुड नो कि भाई एक यूजर्स के दो ईमेल हैं. इसमें क्या रिस्क है? बहुत रिस्क है. क्यों रिस्क है? कि जो भी हमारा यूजर नेम एंड पासवर्ड है वो कहाँ जाता है? इट विल नॉर्मली गो टू माय ईमेल एड्रेसेस. अगर किसी ने क्या किया कि किसी ने जाके ये यूजर बना दिया, ठीक है, सिस्टम में जाके यूजर बना दिया, वी विल नॉट नो. एक और रिस्क बताता हूँ. इमेजिन करो किसी एम्प्लॉय के पास में या किसी यूजर के पास में, ठीक है, मैनेज पेरोल या फिर मैनेज एम्प्लॉय प्लस क्रिएट यूजर, ये अगर प्रिविलेज आ जाती है, सो व्हाट ही कैन डू, he can create an employee, he can create an employee, at the same time he can create a user. अब मेरे पास में यूजर भी आ गया, मेरे पास में एम्प्लॉय आ गया, तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, दिस आई कैन मेक इट एज अ घोस्ट यूजर्स. मतलब कि जो एम्प्लॉय फिजिकली ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ज्वाइन नहीं किया है बट वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एग्जिस्ट करता है, नोबडी विल नो कि किसने क्या बनाया, बिकॉज ये प्रोसेस मैंने ब्रीच कर दी पूरी की पूरी. एंड आई कैन प्रोसेस द पेरोल and I can pay this to an employee. This is these type of records in our application. We notify them as a ghost employee. ग्लोबल यूजर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ये सारी की सारी प्रॉब्लम हमारी सॉल्व कर देता है. सो when we define, there are the options are available. I will show you in the application in a short while that when we configure this global users, we are having an option that what all attributes we require to identify the unique users. Okay, अगर उसमें कहीं पर भी कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है then system will raise it. In this particular scenario what I will show you two case. एक, जिनके ईमेल एड्रेसेस ब्लैंक हैं, ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए क्योंकि अगर ईमेल एड्रेस ब्लैंक है तो वो भी घोस्ट एम्प्लॉय, क्योंकि यूजर नेम मेरे पास में अगर सिक्योरिटी कंसोल है मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. तो वी शुड एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई कौन कौन से ऐसे यूजर है जिनके पास में ब्लैंक ईमेल है, और दूसरा जहां पे हमने ईमेल डुप्लीकेट किए. सिस्टम इनको ऑटोमेटिकली व्हेन आई रन दिस प्रोसेस ऑटोमेटिकली क्या करता है, उनको लाके अननोन define कर देता है, and we can filter it out them and we can validate this report. We can send it to auditors or the risk manager कि भाई ये दो users, इतने सारे users, दो नहीं कई सारे users हो सकते हैं, उनके email या तो blank है या duplicate है, इनको validate करो and make it correction. So this particular functionality is very important. एंड फॉर इम्प्लीमेंटिंग दिस एडवांस एचसीएम कंट्रोल ये बहुत जरूरी है कि हम इसको इनेबल करें एंड कॉन्फ़िगर करें. सो लेट मी शो यू दी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हाउ वी कैन कॉन्फ़िगर इट. और फिर मैं एक दो यूजर बनाऊंगा एप्लीकेशन में एंड रन दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस एंड सी हाउ द सिस्टम इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ इट. So let me log into the application and show you this. So to configure these global users, what we have to do, we have to come back again to the setup and administration from under the risk management. Come to the setup and administration. The process is still, this is started, not yet completed. Let me see. Okay, this will take some time because this is system is updating it. So to configure it, this is a placeholder global user configuration. Okay. So when I'm coming it by default, we are having these attributes available like email, username. These are the two uniqueness that I have selected it. We can select this jobs and grade as well. Like for example, if we want some more uniqueness, okay, like if an organization, if I'm giving any role, let's say payroll administrator, okay, and we want to be identified that with the payroll. Suppose for example, if any IT administrator having a payroll role, and if I'm selecting this job that to be a part of configure as a global users, and when we run it, it will identify key these particular roles or jobs are available for these users, and we can clearly market or select them that they are coming as a part of the risk, and someone should validate it whether it's required uh, that these jobs should have particular rules. This is one of the use case we can use it. Now, coming up to the configuration part, we have to select attributes of which we are configuring it. Multiple options are there. So we will selecting the email and the username. Okay. We will select this and let me click on this username. Click on here and let's click on the email. We'll bring it on the selected one and then save it. So once we save it, system will give me the confirmation. Now, once we select this, we have to run this particular process or schedule it. Normally, this should be normal in ideal scenario when we are in the production. This process should be get scheduled. So we should schedule it. But we can run at particular point of time that how these things are working. So let me do and log out from the risk manager. Okay. Let me log in as a system administrator. Let me log in as a system administrator. What I'm going to do, I will going to create two users. So I logged in as a system administrator. I'll go to tools under security console. Click on the users. Okay. Now I will adding user manually. One is that it will going to be come from my HR, but yes, I can have an option to create user manually as well. So on the add user, I am not selecting any of the categories. Say for example, user test one. Okay, so my username is user test one and the email address is user @gmail.com. Just to checking it. Okay, sorry, gmail.com and password, whatever the password if I want. I'm not assigning any rule because that is not an objective to identify it. But yes, I am just giving creating a user one and user two. I'll create it. This is what I had and I had created it. Let me create one more user test. one. See, as I mentioned it, system will not allow you to create a duplicate users, because as soon as I had created one user and user test one, so this has given me the option of user dot a by default, whatever the configuration we had defined it at security console, this is taking it. So this is already created with the user a dot test one. So that is, we are not going to do it. We will be creating a user test two, and then email is user@gmail.com. Let me create this user dot test 2. Okay. So I had created two users. One is this user one. Let me filter it here. So what I had done, I had created two user test one and user test two. And the email address which I had given it, I had given a user@gmail.com and user@gmail.com. So in this, if you can notice it, that I have defined these two as a symbol, two different user. Now let me create one more user without an email address. So let's see, I will create one more user test 3. I am not giving any user, or I am not giving any email address. So we have created three users, one test 1, test 2, and another is test 3. Test 1 or test 2 ka email addresses are same. Okay, now let me log out from system administrator, and I will log in as a risk manager. Logged in as a risk manager. Under the risk management, under the setup and administration, और ये हमेशा करना है, ये मतलब global user configuration is we have to run it all the time whenever we are changes happening. So this process is no need to be get scheduled. So let me see if my user which I created, it's not appearing on a global one because अभी हमने इनको बनाया नहीं है, it's not available. So these are the two users are there. Now what I will do, I will go and submit this particular process. So my job is get submitted. Let's see, it may take some time. Okay, this is completed. We'll come back again on our global user configuration part, and let's see user dot. So what I had done, what system has done it, as soon as see these are the global IDs get created, and what system has identified, they had identified the conflicts in the sense that issue with, and starting with unknown. Reason is कि मेरा username which I have created is user1 test, user2 test and user3 test. Email addresses are unknown, and even the name हमारे जो भी name थे वो भी common थे. So system has figured a red. So whenever there is a issues with these two attributes, similarly we can select other attributes also, वो भी हम try कर सकते हैं. But yes, so what is a global user configuration? It is if my is any like a anti-duplicate entity which is not satisfying my company policies or procedures, something like that, system automatically highlight. So this is a very important functionality for the auditors to identify that whether my user creation is working correctly or not. Sometimes it happens that we create unknowingly or we do not give email address. So this is how we can able to find out. So my email address for these employees are not correct. So what we can download these reports. Okay, we can download this particular report, and then we can, there is a report available, standard report is available, and custom report also we can make it on this global users. We can download this report and share it with the system administrator. By in users ka you have to correct their email, or if not, then take a clarification or justification from the owner of the application. So this is how we can go and configure these global user part. Next we will cover other portion as well. So this is a conclusion for our today class. As a summary, like if I want to summarize the things, we have understand the different aspects of configuration, that what all we need to configure it, correct? What all we want to configure it, and what all things we need in an application. Go through these videos, and if you want, just do let me know if some questions or queries are there. I appreciate your watching this my whole series as well as this particular video. Before jumping or before coming into it, please I request you, please see the last previous two videos also, where I have mentioned it how we can enable it. क्योंकि उसके बिना समझ में नहीं आएगा। ये अगर डायरेक्ट ये वीडियो देखोगे, जो बिगनर्स हैं जिन्होंने कभी इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया है, यू विल नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट। बट पुराने एक दो दो सेशंस मैंने इसमें बनाए हैं, उनको देखना। And thank you for watching it. Please do like and subscribe my channel if you are liking my videos and the way of understanding the things. Next class mein what I will do it, I will going to showcase that what are my HCM models are there, how we can create those models, how we can import those models, what are the different entitlements are there, so that we are going to cover in the next class. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe my channel. Have a nice day to all of you.